Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Rundown, episode 21. Yes, I know we had no episode last week, mostly due to the fact that I had to go to a family reunion of my girlfriend's family down in Florida. We were completely zooted the entire time because that was the only way that both me and her were able to survive that shit without causing a family feud. So we're back, as it were.
And
Also,
I'm eating a Go-Gurt.
while having a face as smooth as a newborn baby's ball sack. Yeah, Brian shaved.
So I didn't just get Go-Gurt all over me.
You realize that by doing that, you fucked up the shot for the video, right?
Why? How?
Don't worry about it.
If I
So,
jump right back in, aren't we good?
yeah, we're good. Just turn your shit back on as soon as humanly possible. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the rundown. A lot of things happening in the last week. I fucked up and failed to play Fallout London, which was my homework. And I failed my homework, so we're not able to talk about that. But we can talk about it at a surface level where Brian can just gush about it a little bit. I don't know if you've played it. Wait, you haven't? You would have
Yeah,
played. You have played it?
I have one. Holy fuck. The amount of bug crash prevention I had to go through. And mind you, I'm not a modder, so this was all very first time information. You and my roommate's brother, who is a big Fallout head, were both MIA this week. So your baby boy Brian was going through Reddit and Discord fucking posts trying to figure out how to make sure this goddamn game doesn't crash. That's my biggest pet peeve about the game. It crashes a fuck ton. But once you download Buffout 4 FS Fallout script extender and a few other bug fixes, you're fine. It is an amazing experience compared to what Bethesda has been consistently putting out with Starfield, the launch of Fallout 76, even the launch of Fallout 4. This feels like a return to form, and it's fucking mod developers, Joe. I shouldn't be saying this about a company that took 5 years that has only been paid through like crowdsourcing and people from the audience trying to support them. But goddamn, this game feels nothing like Fallout 4, and everything like a Fallout game, but set in a different country. The voice acting, it could be shoddy at times. I'm not saying it can't be, but it is fucking an experience through and through. God damn. I fucking love this thing. I
I
haven't been playing it too much because actually, you'll enjoy this. Me and the girls have been playing Borderlands recently, so that's been taking up a lot of our time. But
Which one?
yeah, we're starting off with one. I got the
Good call. It
I
is a very different experience from 2 and 3, but it is a fun and enjoyable experience in its own right.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, I wanted them to start on the game that I played but didn't start because I feel like if you start with two and then you go back to one, that's a very hard transition.
It is. It is. It's there's a ton of quality of life improvements and just quality improvements generally that were not present in Borderlands 1. Also, I don't care if you've got bukkake all over your shit now. Just turn your fucking video back off.
I'm coming back. Relax. I gotta finish the last little bit. Well, okay then.
Before we get into the Borderlands
Nexus
movie,
was a mistake.
before we go into the Borderlands movie, which I'm probably going to sail the high seas to see, if you catch my meaning, because I refuse to fucking to see it in theaters. Um, you were talking about how like you wanted to like trim your beard without cutting the whole thing off.
Yeah, so I was saying off stream, but I'll say it now. Whenever I shave with a guard, I never feel like it gets everything consistent. I'll feel like there are, especially on my fucking chin and over here, right by my sideburn, like it just won't cut consistent. And I'm like, what the fuck is going
So
on here?
it will. It will. You have to go through it repeatedly. You have to go through it multiple times, and you can't just be like lackadaisical about it. You have to go 1, 2, and keep track, and then and like
No, no,
pay
no.
attention.
Trust me. Let me tell you. I took the 3 millimeter guard, the smallest guard I had, because I'm like, listen, I don't want something. I don't still want, the long hairs. I want that shit cut. If I could just get small little hairs close to my face, they're not sticking all the way the fuck out. I'll take that, right? Almost like a 5 o'clock shadow, but a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
I do that whole entire face. I'm still getting like multiple times going through it both ways, down, 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 making sure everything is fucking even as it can be with the guard. Until I take the guard off, my hair is not even. Shit looks. I don't know if it's because my hair grows uneven in certain places. Maybe it's that.
Well, the thing is that you're a black man. You have different hair. Like for me, I go through it multiple times, but I've got like one B, 2A hair. Like I've got like very, very fine hair, even on my face, so,
Yeah, I'm in between 3A and 3B, so
yeah, your
way
shit,
more curls.
Your shit's more coarse, dude. So, I think, like, unironically, if you, like, I think you should probably, like, ask, if you're gonna ask anyone, like, ask, maybe Noelia's mom, maybe her dad, and see, because it's like, the fact of the matter is that your hair is just different. Now, I do suggest, regardless,
I need somebody with a fucking beard. That's what I need. I need somebody who shaves, but like still keeps the beard.
You need a black dude with a beard. That's what you need. Like I still say, like, get some fucking oil, like, so for after you shave, and put this shit on. It makes your shit softer. Mm-hmm. Specifically, you want to know why I put this on? So I can kiss Meadow without stabbing her in the mouth every time I want to kiss her.
I won't lie, I do like to tickle the fuck out of Noelia with my beard hair. Like, I will do that all the time.
Yeah, but, like, the oil makes it softer. You know what I mean? Like, that's ultimately, like, the big purpose of it. Also, I put a little bit of the oil in my hair to help, just so I smell nice and shit.
But what I don't like? I don't like the fact that we have dick hair coming out of our fucking faces, because that's the same. It's the same exact hair. It's all pubes. It drives me insane.
Yeah, but this shit ain't caked. This shit ain't caked in, like, piss and shit unless you, like, I don't know, eat pussy some shit.
Okay, but we have to deal with this elephant in the goddamn room. This fucking Borderlands movie.
I called it.
I know you did. And I never thought... Let me make something goddamn clear, okay? Every time that I've been on this stream, I have known it was going to be a colossal...
Oh, no, I'm not saying you didn't. I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying... I'm just saying, for the masses, I called this shit back in, what, episode 13, 14, when I found out about
something
this
like
shit?
that, yeah.
Yeah, like...
When the trailer dropped, yep.
Yeah, it was, like, I saw, like, if just so...
Eli, stop making movies outside of horror movies, because Thanksgiving supposedly was good, but this movie is trash.
It is
right now.
It is. Here's the thing. This isn't even a case.
A fucking 9%. That's crazy.
And here's the thing. This isn't one of those things where it says, "Oh, this is a audience preferred movie type of thing." Like,
go to IGN.
Didn't IGN gave him a 3, which was like they only give that to like things that are like just like not functional.
Pretty much.
Here,
IGN gave them a fucking 3.
So like just to look at all the critics, like
Borderlands. Wait, go up to the first one. The very first one.
Borderlands
is what happens. Go ahead.
When you order Guardians of the Galaxy off Temu.
How do you fuck this up?
This person, I think, like, I don't know why they gave him, like, a positive rating. I don't know what... Oh, it's because they gave him a 2.5 out of 5. So visually, so 50, so numbers wise, 2.5 out of 5 is a 50%. That's not a good score. It's just the system is taking a 2.5 out of 5, like as that. This person's like,
Well, I will say that's weird as fuck because there are other 2.5s that have the green as opposed to the tomato.
yeah. So it's rough.
Wild.
Let's look at the audience score, like the audience rating. Like look at the verified ratings, real quick, shall we? As someone who's played all 4 main series games, I was definitely satisfied with the cinematic adaptation of the franchise. Okay, there were a couple characters missing, but the overall theme of Borderlands could easily be felt. If you haven't played the game, then this probably isn't for you, but at least be happy.
But that's the thing. It's not for people who have played the game either.
Because literally the verified thing right next to it says, I don't even have words for how bad this movie was. I played the games, but I went in with what I thought were very low expectations and still ended up shockingly disappointed. The acting was terrible. Storyline made no sense. I laughed 3 times during the entire movie. And this is a Borderlands, by the way. This is supposed to be, like, this is a comedic game.
This pisses me off because it shows we're living in a time right now where video game TV shows and movies are having a renaissance.
Right.
Whether or not you want to say they're the best thing on the earth, I'm not saying that, but they're having a renaissance compared to the early 2000s.
Video game adaptations of adaptations of movie and TV adaptations of video games. Bleh, can I please speak English today? They are not the best games on the planet, movies and TV shows on the planet, but what we love about them is that they are faithful adaptations within, the best you can do. Because translating video games to, the big screen and the screens in general is not an easy task. The fact, the Tomb Raider movies are trunts for being bad, but I remember them fondly, thinking of them as they're fairly decent action-ish movies. The difficult
well,
part...
I'll even disagree with you there, because bear with me, right? In theory, Fallout is a much harder show or a much harder IP to create in a visual format for the screen as opposed to video games. Borderlands is not an example of that. Borderlands is a cinematically pretty aesthetically pleasing game, right? If they actually had Handsome Jack, if they actually followed, I don't know, what the fuck Lilith is, a siren, why she's the one who can open the fucking vault.
And he froze.
It's just so annoying. Does not follow the source material. Not even saying down to the letter, just somewhat of the source material. It fucks themselves up. This is why Halo Season 3 just got canceled after Season 2 when they finally fucking focused on the games, but then they fucked that up too. So I'm like, stop taking creative liberties in a universe that people love, that people have such dedication to, because you're never going to come close. Your script, no matter how good of a Hollywood writer you are, is never going to come close to the dedicated to the love and dedication that fans have for these video games and the writers of these video games.
Jack Black couldn't save this movie if he tried.
And he was trying. Supposedly, he gave a great performance. He always gives a good performance.
I heard he played all of the games before he played the portrayed Claptrap.
Of course, he's a gamer. He knows, and he understands that audiences who are gamers have a real love and dedication to these fucking IPs.
And also, the story
doesn't make sense.
Here's the thing: a lot of the Borderlands 1 story, which, let's be so fucking real, that is the story that should have been told. Here's the thing.
No disagreement there.
Here's my thing, right? You could tell the story of Borderlands 1 in 2 seasons. 2 seasons.
I'd say you could even. I haven't finished the first
seasons,
one, so
12 episodes a season. You could do the entire story, hour-long episode of Borderlands 1 easy in a much better way. That's much more narratively pleasing than how it was in the games. Because the problem with how things were done in the games was ostensibly that they were most of the base game and a good chunk of the DLCs as well were all done through text. The story, the dialogue, most of it was done through texts by reading the opening, but like the mission descriptions and the mission turn-in screens. A lot of reading was done for the story, and there's and here's the thing: when you do it, it's cohesive, it makes sense, it's emotionally stimulating, and like you get emotionally invested. But it's also like an MMO lighty type of feeling where you like are incentivized to skip through to like get your experience, get your level, get your loot, fuck the story. So having an opportunity for a one season, like the first season can be literally entire first season can be just going through the main quest.
I would say even, how about this? Let's see how you like this theory, right? If they chose to make Borderlands 2 a series, right? And then, not a series, but the first season or the second season, let's say that's the like first 2 or 3 seasons, right? Everything with Handsome Jack, everything with Lilith, Roland, Brick, and Mordecai are already established characters in the universe. You don't really know their backstory. That's how they should have done it. Then, after a year or two of that being successful, Borderlands 2, the story itself is over, right? Then you go back and do a little Borderlands 1. Here's the background on these 4 characters, how everybody fits into that. I just don't understand why they chose to do a movie, especially with people like Kevin Hart, Cate Blanchett, and fucking, Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, like, who was on cast? Who? Because outside of Claptrap, I'm genuinely like, why?
Yeah, I agree. And here's the thing. It's like, I think that Kevin Hart has the capacity to do actual acting. He has repeatedly vocalized his desire to do actual acting. And
then he chooses these movies.
Right, but here's the thing. It's like, I think that at least on the part of Kevin Hart, the problem was with the script. Like, he was playing himself.
I'm not saying that it was the actor's fault. The script, without a doubt, was the issue. I think everybody will agree with that. And I would possibly argue that it's not so much. This isn't even like the Ghostbusters reboot where like you had a bad script held up with the Herculean effort by like a solid fucking talented cast. Like Leslie Jones is like one of my favorite comics. Period. And like from what I know about that scene from that movie, like they held that shit up. Versus like I don't know, like we both know like Tannis. Tannis is in the first game less insane, but like I don't know if Jamie Lee fucking Curtis, like that's what I'm saying though. Just take a second. Everything that you see of her in the first game, in the second game, nowhere does it make you think, oh, you know who should play her in a movie? The bitch from Halloween. I mean, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing here? That's what I'm just trying to understand. Like, why make those types of choices?
Can I say something fucking terrible?
Go ahead.
I'm not saying this as a bit. I'm saying it because like if she wears a wig or cuts her hair this way, she'll look the part, and I think she would actually like act a pretty decent job with it. This is not a bit. I promise I'm not being a dickhead here. I think Demi Lovato could do a good job of playing Tannis if she had picked her.
Without a doubt, because Tannis is also, I don't know, pretty fucking young. She's not that goddamn old.
Yeah, like...
And also, when the fuck does this movie take place in the goddamn timeline? You have fucking Lilith, Tiny Tina, Krieg of all fucking people, a DLC character. Don't get me wrong, one of my favorite fucking playable characters in Borderlands 2.
Same.
Don't understand why he's getting the love for a fucking movie. Where's Mordecai? Where's fucking Brick?
You know what it probably is? You know what it probably is? They probably like kind of. I bet the cat, like the people before this said, "All right, you're gonna make a Borderlands movie. Here's like a quick right. Here's like the Wikipedia for the storyline. And here and then like the and then and
the fucking story.
And then the writers went on to like went on to r/Borderlands and like looked at like by like best top of all time and just saw a ton of Tiny Tina memes, ton of fucking Krieg memes. Like they saw a lot of like fucking Lilith. They saw a lot of Roland. They saw a lot of Tannis, and then they were just like, fuck it. I guess these are the characters, without ever like kind of like bothering to like put time into it. Also, you know what it probably was also? I think it wasn't. I think the reason why the casting is genuinely what the fuck, it has less to do with the casting and more of just like somebody's agent. Somebody said to their agent, I need to get on a big like video game type of movie that's like going to be popular of a big franchise, because people saw like fucking Fallout killing it. People saw, you know, like fucking what was the other?
Yeah,
The Witcher killing it before like they fucking before Henry Cavill left. They're
let's see if you agree with this estimation real quick, right?
Go for it.
I think we're going through the games of a service phase with movies/television. What I mean is,
I think we've been going through something akin to that for years. And here's what I mean. You know,
I'm saying, just let me say this.
Go for it.
How we saw the Avengers fail, the Avengers video game fail, how we saw Suicide Squad fail. I think we saw the video game adaptations that worked, and that was leading us into this phase of the film industry right now, where every film company is going to try to make a video game movie or TV show. They're going to either do great at it or fail, but they're still going to round hole square peg it, you know?
Yeah, I think here's the thing. Most aspects of the pillars of the entertainment industry, film and TV, music and audio, video games, are all at the same point right now, which is the largest studios and like the biggest players. Now, granted, video games are still a little better off to certain degrees. Games as like there's still hope for some smaller artists in the indie scene. Movies and TV kind of fucked. Like Sundance ain't gonna do it no more. But by and large, the big players in the entertainment sphere and all forms of the entertainment sphere are super risk averse. They have gotten to a point where they are expecting to spend tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on media. They are unwilling to invest, to take risks. And so what ends up happening is that in the case of music, you are only going like a label is only going to pick you up if you have a following ahead of time, ahead of time, and then and you're trying to expand in a non-grassroots way, and even then like they're still going to want you to have like a bunch of songs that like have like a TikTok ready hook. Movies are going like video games do not want to invest in already established IPs. They don't want to make anything new. They want to do everything paint by numbers. That's the reason why
you're seeing a fucking sequel for everything from 30 goddamn years ago.
Yep, it's also the reason why everything feels like the Ubisoftification of all video games, and that's why in the movies and in the movies and TV show industries, you're having them like take intellectual properties from other books, from other video games, take things that have pre-established fan bases or things that have had fan bases for years, and then just resequelize. Any new IP is going to be something that already exists in another format, therefore an already established fan base coming forward for it. So what we're seeing is that they don't want to take these risks because things cost so much money to make, but then these things are expected to make so much more money, and so they end up blaming the talent. Instead of blaming the talent, they end up like blaming the workers. They end up blaming the IP instead of actually, trying to de-escalate from this arms race to the bottom. Ultimately,
Well, I'll just I'll say this very quickly. It's exactly what happened with Tango Game Studios, exactly what happened with Arcane. Arcane. Also, and watch this transition. This is exactly the reason why Deadpool was as successful as it was, because the studios had their fucking arms behind their back being pushed into them, because that footage got released of Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool. You saw that footage, right?
I didn't see the footage, but I know the story you're talking about. Basically, he alleged, like, I think
Since '03, since he was playing. Also, I will say, not gonna say it. Never mind. That would be considered a spoiler. But what's it called? Since he was in Blade, since Ryan Reynolds was in Blade, my man has been trying to play fucking Deadpool. They did the shit with Wolverine Origins, right? And even during that time, that's when they actually started like genuinely talking about Deadpool being its own fucking film. And then that bullshit happened where he had no fucking mouth and he came out and he tried killing fucking Hugh Jackman Wolverine, right? And everybody was like, nah, Deadpool is dead on arrival. Let's not touch this nigga with a 20-foot pole. But it was because Ryan Reynolds knew the love of the character. He knew it. He knew that the love was there. So finally he gets the chance to make the fucking movie because
he's given a budget of fucking nothing. He's given a budget of fuck all. Which
he fucking
amazing what they did with it. It's amazing what they did with that budget too.
And it was also a genuinely good fucking movie.
It was.
That's the other thing about it. It broke records for rated R films. It was like one of the best selling, highest grossing rated R films, if not in like the top 10 at the time. Currently, Deadpool.
I went back to see it 3 times. I saw it 3 times in theaters. I paid my money.
I watched that shit with my grandfather. I feel you.
Yeah, like I don't get, like, I was a college student with no fucking money, and I still spent like 40 to 50 of my hard-earned dollars to see that shit 3 times.
And now, Deadpool and Wolverine, highest grossing rated R movie of all fucking time. They're opening more possibilities in the Marvel universe with characters that were never going to happen, And now they're like, oh my God, we love this character. Woo! And that's what the fuck I'm saying. I'm like, how can y'all do this? See this colossal failure turn into a colossal success, but then with Borderlands, you're like, nah, let's just drop the ball and make a regular fucking film. And then you niggas have the audacity to sit here and complain about how the film industry is failing. Yeah, nigga, because it's all about money. It's all about money. It ain't about the film no more.
You're not gonna make insanely popular films if you don't take a loss from here now and again. It is like, if you're a studio, you like, eventually people are going, like, eventually things are going to be so meh and whatever that people are going to just want to watch indie films. Like the enshittification, the imblandification of media is what, makes people not want to watch TV or movies and go to YouTube instead. It's what makes people not want to play the latest Call of Duty and end up playing a dumb like Block Wars or something, because the developers behind that put like actual time and effort into the mechanics and making the game fun. And then or you have like people in the music industry who don't give a fuck about like the Billboard Top 500 and literally just listen to like 5 weirdos on TikTok who have a Spotify following of 10 combined. Like, that's what ends up happening. Like, and people end up like, the indies, like, when the mainstream, like the indie scene continues to grow in all aspects of media, solely because the types of media that is being created today is not engaging or compelling. And when something is engaging and compelling, it's not that so much that it is like so far above in a way like the best thing that's ever existed. There's very few games that are like that, but they're more of just like games, movies, music that are like that, and it's more of there is a level of effort put in here and risk taken that is not done anymore. Elden Ring is a good example of that. Baldur's Gate 3 is a great example of that. Deadpool's a great example of that. You know, I'd even say dumb shit like Sausage Party. You know,
but then they turn around and try making it a fucking TV series, and then I'm like, y'all are going.
I didn't even hear about that.
It's a Hulu original TV series, and I'm like, y'all couldn't have just kept it the movies. Y'all really needed this, because it's Seth Rogen. Like, he has The Boys, Invincible. Like, he's not starving for fucking cash.
No, he's not.
That's what I'm saying.
And also, like, Invincible's another good example. The Boys is another good example. Like,
Seth Rogen as a producer seems to be fucking great. Like, he seems to be amazing.
He's like, you know, it's like, even then, like, there's still examples where, like, you play in with old, you know, like, even if you're doing, like, sequelization or, like, things that are part of a universe, like, I couldn't give a fuck about the last 10, you know, paint-by-numbers Marvel TV shows that they came out with.
What?
But every time that Jon Favreau puts out something in Star Wars, I watch that shit.
What's it called? What did you think? What did you think of Acolyte? Did you watch it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet. Looks cool. I haven't seen it yet.
Did you see they are going to release Mandalorian and Grogu?
What do you mean release?
It's going to be a movie.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I think that's their end game. I think that's their eventual end game. Make all these series and then end it with a movie.
That's probably for the best. I think ultimately we'll probably end up. I think that's going to have a happy ending. By the way.
What were we talking about? Mandalorian and Grogu? Probably not.
No, because
all the Mandalorians are dead. They're all dead, right?
No, at the end of Mandalorian season 3, spoilers. They settle.
Very quickly, I forgot we're talking about Star Wars. I have to limit the timeline. I'm saying by the time of either the prequel series or the originals, are they still alive during that?
We don't know. I think what's probably happening is that they're chilling on their
just being secretive in their club. I get it.
Like I think they're start trying to rebuild Mandalore or something. Like, it's just like they just aren't present. But regardless,
I'm so confused. Very quickly, because this is one thing that I want to find out. And since you watch The Mandalorian, maybe you could tell me: do the Mandalorians have any any impact, any association with the clones? Because they're based off of Mandalorian armor, right?
So they are, but here's the clones originally were based off of a Mandalorian by the name of Jango Fett.
Yeah.
He gave like a simplified version of Mandalorian training and armor and stuff. He's not a forge master or anything, so it's like a lot of things.
But they're based off of his DNA, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And Boba Fett is a clone of Jango, but was basically like given to Jango as like an infant, and was
that's not his actual son.
Is a biological copy of Jango, but was raised basically as a son. So, yeah.
Mm.
So I forget 1 second, and I forget what the last scene of the fucking finale was. Cars, blah blah blah. Yeah, and I remember. Yeah.
Taking odd jobs for the New Republic.
Yeah, okay. So basically, basic yeah. So basically, what ends up happening at the end of season 3 is Bo-Katan from the Clone Wars has basically reunited basically all of the Mandalorians. There's probably some stragglers in the galaxy, and they're trying to rebuild Mandalore. And meanwhile, in Din Djarin basically adopts Grogu officially, and he becomes Din Grogu, and then basically takes him on adventures and shit, doing odd jobs for the Republic.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
so that's not Yoda, because I know that was a big debate.
It was one of Yoda's species. It's one of Yoda's species. Gotcha. And so I think so. The thing is that like, I think the movie that they're eventually going to do is probably going to be the kind of intersection that will.
Do you think they're going to Avengers it?
No, I think here's the thing, right? I think
I'm just saying, like, bringing everybody together after having separate stories.
The Star Wars trilogy that came out recently, like the new one, the sequel trilogy, is deeply unpopular.
Huh. Yeah.
It is. There are kids and stuff that liked it because, of course, they did. Like, I think I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it around, and then in like another 15 years, all of the people who saw it as children who loved it are now adults. Like, same thing with like Hayden Christensen, like being told we love you and shit afterwards, because you know people who grow up with it loving what they love. You know, it's fine. I think I'm hopeful that the next batch of what I think Jon Favreau is trying to do is show that he can deliver popular show after show after show. Probably gonna blast it out the water with this Mandalorian with this Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which of course, like that's of course
Andor
that's
season 2 as well.
Huh?
Andor season 2 as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen Andor. Either. I heard it's a.
People have been saying that is the best fucking series that they have made.
Really better than Mandalorian. Surprising.
They genuinely love that shit. I think it's because of how dark and serious the tones are, as opposed to
like
everything else.
It leads into like political, murkiness and stuff. It's like because that's the thing, right? The Star Wars franchise, like at this point, shouldn't just be like fucking fantasy Star Wars. Fuck that shit. We were familiar with it. And I think Jon Favreau is doing something very smart, in which he is telling, and this is what you should do with large properties like this. This is what you should do with Rings. This is what you should do with Fallout. What you should do with Fallout. This is what you should do with the Elder Scrolls when they eventually come out with that fucking show with 40K. Like, okay, like you tell, like you want, like fucking The Mandalorian feels like a spaghetti western, right? Book of Boba Fett feels like a gangster movie. Andor is like fucking Snowpiercer or House of Cards.
Yeah, like a spy type of
spy v spy thing.
Yeah.
And in like old and fucking Kenobi is like just like a fucking like a tragedy type of thing. It's like it's just sadness porn.
But also like the only thing that continues the main story in any way.
Or it kind of bridge it. All of these things exist to bridge. Like exist to bridge. All of this is Jon Favreau's goal of him being the person that gets to do the next series.
I will say the only thing I'll spoil from
the next trilogy,
Deadpool,
I would bet, is that before you say it, I will say all of the things with the Star Wars license and stuff that Jon Favreau is doing, I bet you every dollar I got that he is jockeying to when they eventually, inevitably say, hey, we're doing a new trilogy. He's the one at the helm. And at that point, people will be very comforted by that. Although I don't know how well he'll be able to do with Disney executives up his asshole with producer notes.
That hopefully he has enough clout by then he doesn't have to deal with it. But what's it called? The only thing I'll say about Deadpool v Wolverine regarding like a little spoiler, nothing insane. Jon Favreau's in the movie, and I just think it's funny.
No, it makes sense. Like I think he's earned the right to have cameos and shit.
Well, he's like a part of Shield or something. So like in universe, he's a part of the Avengers. So it makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah. No, that's fair.
Last thing me and you got to talk about because I think this is gonna take us well into our time, if not no worries. But what's it called? So
Meadows getting a car today. Meadows getting a car today, so like she's out, so we're good.
Yeah, I just know Noelia wants to be out here, so that's why I say it. What's it called? You and me, next month, September 6th, if I'm off, are definitely streaming the campaign of Warhammer.
I will have to watch you play because I am very poor. I am not. I am still trying to figure out where I'm going to get $96 to pay my phone bill this month. No, wait, this is last month's. I still have to pay this coming month's on the 1st. So it's like, fuck me, right?
Goddamn. Okay, fine. Then we'll stream it on the 6th. Because that we got to do. We hella got to do. Have you been seeing any of the trailers that's been releasing?
I've been blissfully spoiler free. I've seen a couple things. It looks good. It sounds good. And it looks although I'm sure how visceral it's going to feel until it would be in my hands.
I mean, if Darktide was made by Shark, whatever, what's their releaser? What's their publisher name? Fat Shark. If Darktide was made by Fat Shark, I trust. Who are these people? Is it Respawn?
Yeah,
I think it's Respawn.
Space Marine 2 is developed by Saber Interactive. Let's just look at some of their pedigree real quick. They made a eclectic group of games. So Saber is obviously working on Space Marine 2, Jurassic Park Survival. They're working on that currently. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead, Exploding Kittens VR. Okay, that's actually kind of cute. Motor Runner VR, Heading Out, Expedition Murder Game, Wildcard Football, Teardown. Teardown's actually like a pretty solid indie game. That's actually not a bad one. Evil Dead the Game, World War Z Aftermath. Okay, that's fair. Insurgency Sandstorm, SnowRunner, Mud Runner, Ghostbusters the Video Game Remastered. I actually hear that this was actually not that bad.
That's a great game. It's a good game. I played it on the PS3. That's a good game.
Okay, so
I thought it was Respawn, but okay, bet Saber is still pretty.
Respawn just wants to make fucking Apex Legends and keep cock teasing of Titanfall 3.
No, literally. You know why Titanfall 2 failed, right?
They were caught. The developer, the executives at Respawn, the leaders of Respawn were cocky and thought that they could compete by putting the release date between Call of Duty and...
Nah, that was because they left. They left one publisher, got picked up by EA, who was making Battlefield 4 at the time.
Oh, and EA didn't want.
And they were like,
competition.
You're not competing with Battlefield. What the fuck? Because this was 4. This wasn't that was like the beginning of them starting to go down, but they were still Call of Duty-esque there. I think 2044 is the one that really made it fuck up. Or was it Battlefield 4? I think Battlefield 4 had hella bugs at launch, so it was bad.
I mean, so did Battlefield 3, but like by the time Battlefield 4 came around, Battlefield 3 was like the gold standard.
Yeah, literally, because Hardline came out, I think, in between those.
Hardline gets a bad rap, I hear. I hear people really enjoy the multiplayer of it, though.
I think for what it was supposed to be, it was exactly what people needed it. A lot of the mid 2010 first person shooters were either amazing or just
Or
mediocre.
yeah, I still need to go play Spec Ops: The Line.
I mean, I would say probably just watch somebody play it because not that the story isn't good. I just going out of your way to find that game, I feel like it's hard. If
I
I'm
mean, I
wrong,
own
I'm
it.
wrong.
I own it, so
Oh, okay.
I picked it up for like $3 on a Steam sale.
Hmm.
So, I know it's one of those games that's like gaming history and stuff. Like it's just like one of like a great examples of like writing told with like video games. So I wanted to give it a shot.
It
See
just
how it was.
changes. It just changes up the formula so much because you go from being the usual bad guy, I'm killing the usual good guy, killing the bad guys, and then this is like, oh shit, I just killed like the majority of my squad because I thought I was right. Fuck. Like a lot of first person shooters don't give you that moral dilemma.
Yeah, and I guess that's part of the reason why it was like so big back in the day. But I definitely want to give it a shot. Is there anything else? So if ever, folks, you can click off. I just wanted to actually, yeah, let's just be real quick with this. Isn't it funny how last time we were chit chatting, or like it was either that time or the time before, like I was like coping, I was like being like, I was like fucking black pilled, just fucking losing my shit, saying, "Oh my fucking god, Trump is gonna win. We're so fucked. We're so fucked." After the assassination attempt, and now nobody gives a shit, and like Trump's in a worse position now than he was like a month ago.
I don't even know what's going on now. What's up?
Kamala,
Are you talking about just in terms of popularity for Kamala? Because I'll agree with you there. There was I can I be honest with you? I genuinely think it was so many people so disgusted with the choices and having to face these choices again that anybody, I think genuinely anybody, if they put fucking Burger King as being a goddamn political candidate for this fucking presidential campaign, they without a doubt would have focused on him more.
Yep.
I will say, hold on,
Go for it.
backtrack just for a second. Nothing about Trump, nothing about Kamala. I want to say personally, and I hope fucking people are still watching. I know you just told them to leave, but this is what I expect of people who are online to do, and I'm doing it. I'm being an example of what I like to see. Right? Watch John Oliver last week. Great fucking show. If you don't watch John Oliver, come on, what the fuck are you doing?
Get the fucking Max subscription and HBO Max subscription and just do it.
Just do it. So he did a whole entire piece on RFK Jr. Now, personally, you knew where I stood. I was just like, out of these two idiots, Trump, Biden, Trump, Kamala, I still have that opinion. I'm sorry. I just probably won't participate, but it is what it is. I was having the opinion that RFK, out of these two, probably the least bad choice out of all three of them. Genuinely found out how wrong I was. So here I am today saying I was wrong. RFK is not a good choice. The man does not respect, science, medical advice, whatever you want to say. He also goes out of his way to hurt people who are directly affected by what he has said. And when he's faced with that, he does not deal with the repercussions in a way that I appreciate. So personally, I think he's wrong. There. I expect more people.
So you saw the hot mic call with Trump, didn't you?
Not even that. The one where he literally said about malaria or AIDS, one of the two, and then a country had like a horrible epidemic where like almost 800 people fucking died. Then he sat on a podcast and literally was asked, "Hey man, so you directly, made this happen. 800 people are dead because of your suggestion to the president or whatever it was of the country." And he was literally like, "Oh, I didn't say that stuff. I wasn't advocating for that." My nigga, yeah, you were. My nigga, yes, you were. So here it is. If you can, I'm a type of person who likes to change your mind. If you show me actual evidence, you show me a genuine, what's it called? hypocrisy or a example of these people not practicing what they preach or not dealing with the repercussions like a human, then I have to be like, yo, genuinely, that's not a choice I want to be with. So boom, there we go. And I just hope I see more fucking people doing this.
Yeah, I'm also happy when I saw that Kamala like advocating openly for a ceasefire too on the presidential campaign, which is great.
Yeah, good for her. Here's my thing. I think personally, I probably won't even touch politics, meaning involving myself in voting for somebody for like the next 5 years. I think we just need a mass reset. We need no more incumbents. We need no more Trumps, no more Bidens, no more, goddamn, no more Hillary Clintons.
I still hate that she opens her fucking mouth. But to your point of that, ladies and gentlemen, that's his personal thing. Not
Yeah, Evan never shared that.
Yeah, not participating doesn't mean you aren't affected by the shit going on. I want to remind everybody that's listening who might share some of my political beliefs or even not participate like the voting is the least effective form of civil engagement for making things progress to a far left of center fashion. Remember, there isn't much that we as left-wing individuals can gain by voting, but there is a inordinate amount that can be lost by not voting. That is something I kind of like have come to terms with, and realizing that yes, I want, free universal health care, free college, higher minimum wage, all of these great things, and advocating for these things, advocating for the social rights and the protections of marginalized communities is important, and I care about those things. The problem is that what do you as a person want to work towards those things by doing community organizing, by doing mutual aid, by doing all of these things? Do you want to do that under a politician who not politician, but under a administration and group in politique that either doesn't really interface with it that much, or protects it nominally or badly protects it nominally? Or do you want to do it under a administration / political party that actively makes laws where it's illegal to feed homeless people, actively makes laws to criminalize you for the politics that you hold, and actively fights against its work? You are not, when you go to the ballot box, because when you go to the ballot box, you're going to get a politician that continues to support Israel in some way, that is going to continue to support capitalism in some way. The difference is that one is going to either just be a bystander or not fight you too hard on things that you're trying to progress, and the other will actively try to kill you or kill your politics or kill your movement. That is the fundamental difference. You are voting not for a party, but the conditions that you live under.
And I'll just say, if you do share my opinion, but you agree with Evans in some capacity, participate in local elections only.
Yep. And here's a good thing. If you want to vote for a third party, be my fucking guest. Don't vote for a third party that doesn't run a candidate in your local constituency. I'm not saying that you can't vote for a Green Party candidate. I'm not saying that you can't run for a Libertarian Party candidate, but if you don't see a single one of those motherfuckers at every level, or even just at your local level, don't give them your vote on the state or national level. The reason why is because, this is more of the Green Party than it is the Libertarian Party, even if the Libertarian Party has been taken over by the Mensis caucus for the last few years and basically turned into right-wing doodads.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Well, I guess regular Republicans need a new place to go, huh?
No, I kind of the thing is that a lot of the Republican, the people that are your like Lincoln Project style Republicans, like the ones that are like never Trumpers, but ostensibly are like cheer on all of the economic and a lot of the social policies they do. They just don't like Trump's vibe. Now there are, at the end of the day, it's like the Republican Party.
Yeah, JD Vance 2 days before his fucking VP pick.
You have like here's what you have on the Democratic VP is every white person's granddad that they like father that they wish they still had that they didn't lose to not Fox News versus Couchfucker McGee.
Yeah, I think I was just saying, like, see, it's so hard today, now, after the 8 years of Trumpian influence for the conservative movement. But I do remember a time that, 2014 and before, where Republicans were genuinely just like, hey, man, this social programs we don't really fuck with. We get it. Some people need them at times. Yes, obviously they would put in limits and restrictions. I'm not saying that they wouldn't.
Testing it
but
to the point where it's useless, yeah.
But like today, it just seems like there is no open conversation about anything. It is strictly our ideas or bust. And I'm like, and
yeah, and that started with the conservative movement. They moved so far to the right that like all of the things.
No, trust me, I remember the Tea Party.
Yeah, they're insane. They're lunatics. They're objective lunatics, and it's sad because it started as an actual economic grievance, but the problem is that it was weaponized by the far right lunatics. At the end of the day, people like Bernie Sanders and Tim Walz, like when they talk about like economic reforms, like free school lunches and free breakfast and shit, and like things that ostensibly make like working class people's lives better. When I say working class, I mean people whose money doesn't come from asset generation, but from fucking a paycheck, which is most motherfuckers, by the way. It's very hard to like, here, you want to know who the MAGA base is? You don't want to know who like the far right base is? It isn't, really poor people on welfare. There are a good chunk of them, sure, but ostensibly,
I know.
When you go into like deep red counties with like really fucking poor people living there, it's not the really fucking poor people. They seem to lean more towards Kamala Harris. The places where they're absolutely like fucking on all of the conspiracy bullshit, right wing lunacy are the burbs.
Shit, even Beverly Hills
suburbs. It's the fucking
Beverly
suburbs.
Hills out here, my nigga. Let me ask you a question. You think downtown LA is voting for Trump?
Nah. But fucking
it's the motherfuckers in Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
who we kidding?
Yeah, it's fucking everybody. It's rich fuckers. Like, here's the thing. It is not even rich fuckers. Just upper middle class people who still work for a paycheck and shit, live most of their life on credit card debt, and hoodwink themselves into thinking that the motherfuckers living above the fucking highway on the north half of Beverly Hills are on their side for when they're more closely aligned to the motherfuckers living over on Skid Row. Like you as a suburbanite are closer to me in terms of financial situation than you are to Jeff Bezos.
It's somebody who never worries about money ever and has to think about selling stock to make a purchase. I mean, what are we talking about here? That person has nothing in common with the common folk.
No, and I think ostensibly, what's kind of going on is, I'll give Biden credit. He did say that he was a transitionary candidate in the sense of moving from the Clintonite perspective of moving from the Clinton dominated 90s Democrat version of the party to the Bernie Sanders era, where like you have a bunch of like younger people like who are actually left and not just left wing as far as like the right is concerned, Like, they actually want like policy changes and taxes on wealthy people and trying to make this country better. I think so long, and I've said this repeatedly, so long as the right wing continues to lose elections, I think the more elections that they lose, the more fracturing will happen, and the more that the Democratic Party, I think, will ostensibly, kind of slowly start to purge the old Clintonite mindset of like the coastal elite, holier than thou attitude, and embrace a more grassroots, urban and rural approach, like just a. I think over the next 10 years, we're going to see the Democratic Party start being a party of working class people again. And because
let me ask this: you don't feel, because this is honestly my fear, you don't feel that if Democrats start to win elections uncontested, that I don't even want to say. This is what I'm trying to avoid. Hold on. I'm trying to avoid saying a Trump-esque figure in the sense of having conservative ideals. I'm saying a Trump-esque figure who is smart, who is very, very down for democratic ideals, but then, start to transition of something darker. That's genuinely my concern, because I'm seeing it with how the Republicans were and where they are now, and I don't know. I'm just worried.
I think here's the thing. The Democratic Party.
Because I say this because I definitely agree with you that Democrats have the capacity in this country to consistently win elections, especially if they
win. Democrats win when people show up. That's why I was so fucking scared about Biden after the debate. Like, motivation was deflated. But with the change to Kamala, everybody being excited about it, and us constantly pegging, like, finally calling conservatives and their opinions weird, and calling them out for being the weirdos that they fucking are, is like, nobody's fucking talking about Trump. And when we do, we're making fun of him. We're not talking about, oh, this is so horrible. No, people are making fun of Trump now. Like, he's acting erratic. He's like Trump. The momentum for MAGA isn't working. You have to remember that fascists like being perceived as powerful. They don't like being perceived as they need to be perceived as normal. They want to be perceived as normal so they can pitch their ideas as the status quo. When you rightfully call out the obsession with children's genitals, checking children's genitals and controlling women's bodies, and call those policies for what they are, weird as shit.
And not conservative. Not fucking conservative.
No,
I don't
fascist.
Understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't understand how a political party that is solely dependent on the government not infringing on your personal rights turns around and advocates for personal infringement. I can never understand this, because at the end of the day, that should be a Democrat policy in terms of the government intersecting with a personal person.
Well, and that's the rub. Here's the thing. The Republicans have coasted on 40 years of an excellent rebranding campaign, saying that they are the party of freedom, of being against government infringing on your rights. And here's the thing. That is a very bare bones and simple way of doing it, and they have coasted on that. The fundamental reality is that there is good government intervention. There are things where government should intervene, and there are things where government shouldn't intervene. Places where government should intervene: inelastic markets. What is an inelastic market? Healthcare. Something where you don't have
graphics cards.
No, but I understand, and I'm still very upset about it. But no, I did not what I'm talking about. But I understand. What should the government do? Like, the government was going to be in the business of making sure, like helping those in need, way of food, shelter, healthcare. That is the purpose of the government. We pay taxes for goods and services. We get them in return. That is what the Democratic Party ostensibly has been for in the past since FDR, and that is what the Republican Party has not been. The Republican Party has not been in charge of wanting that for years. It's part of the reason why they were the party of big business.
Very quickly, you don't feel that, because I agree with you.
Yeah.
You don't feel that the Democrats are constantly being manipulated and pushed into making policies that are just as possibly restrictive or gives too much freedom. Because
like what?
What's it called? Gender affirming care is a perfect example of this regarding children in schools. California just recently passed a law about not as a teacher, you can't out your child as trans. I think my personal opinion on this matter is the government should not be involved. If a teacher and a student have a private enough relationship, y'all know what I'm saying, but kinship. We'll call it kinship so people don't think I'm fucking weird. If a teacher has a kinship with a student and the student admits to being trans, comes out as identifying other than what they actually are, what they actually biologically are, hey, good for you. Awesome that you guys have that relationship. The government should not intervene in any way. It should not force you to out that child, and it should not force you to not out that child.
So let me put a pin in it right there for a second. I just
want to say my position is the Republicans force this on the Democrats. That's what I'm saying.
And here's the thing. Why would a child not want to tell their parents about their sexuality or gender identity?
No. I understand that. What I'm saying is let that be...
Right, but here's the thing.
Let that be a per case thing. Does it really... All I'm trying to say is, does it genuinely have to be written law?
I think that there is absolutely nothing wrong, nor is there any real negative repercussion towards preventing teachers, people who are in charge federally, who are in charge of the health, well-being, and safety of children, from being prevented from taking an action that could ostensibly cause that child harm. Because there is a reason why a child is telling a teacher and their parents don't know. And if that teacher if that child made a bad judgment call on that teacher being on their side in the way that they hope, and that teacher does believe that agree with the parents and that will eventually cause that child harm, I think that yes, a law in place should be in place to prevent a teacher from putting a child in harm's way. Because do you agree this would have never been a point of conversation regarding laws if Republicans never made this a part of their base? That's my point. I think the trans panic issue, like the hatred towards like trans people who are, reminder, 0.0, I think 3% of the
0.001% of the it's
0.03%. It's 0.03% of the population, mind you. Do I think that this law wouldn't be on the books if that was the case? Sure. Would something like this kind of be on the books later if we were having like implementing trans rights?
I think what I'm trying to say is I'm more comfortable with this being a school policy, even if it's a district-wide policy, even if it's a county-wide policy.
You can't do it with the school boards. You can't do it with the school boards because lunatic parents are the ones that can influence school boards very easily, and having it be a state law will prevent that.
What I'm saying is this was always a controversy regarding from the parents' perspective prior to Trump and this increase of trans hate, discomfort, whatever the hell you want to call it. fucking I think all I'm saying is we already have teachers doing one of the most hard jobs out there, preparing the next generation to be not only good members of society but good people in general,
And
because
picking
school
up the
also.
parenting slack because most people don't parent their fucking kids.
And I'm saying we shouldn't be expect teachers to be in a position that puts them more at odds with parents. Nor am I saying that they should automatically be outed. I'm not saying that. Florida's bill is just as wrong. I think all I'm saying is regarding like this type of sentiment, this shit I don't genuinely believe should be a part of what the government focuses on. If this is a school
The
problem, let it
government
be a
has to
school decision.
focus on it simply because right-wing lunatics will cause issues.
And this is exactly that. That's the position that I was taking from the beginning, and I'm glad I heard you say it. Because I'm just like, if fucking Democrats didn't have to respond to the insanity that was coming from Republicans, especially Trumpian Republicans, then without a doubt, I think I would be just as gung ho about the left side as you are. I think I'm just saying. I think I have this opinion of being like I'm politically gray right now because everybody is not looking at these conversations and being like, yo, this is fucking stupid. We should not be hating on an individual because they personally don't feel comfortable in their own skin. How many fucking children go through
I
that? And
I
we
don't
don't
see
hate
any
children.
reason. I don't see any reason why you can't be like gung ho for the left because, like you through your own words, the only reason we're having to focus on this shit is because of right wing lunatics.
Yeah, but nobody is being smart enough or mature enough to be like, yo, genuinely, we got to stop this shit. We got to stop it outright. We got to actually put laws in place on the federal level, not state level, on the federal level to protect women's rights, which has always been my position, which is why I have so much
The
disdain for the left.
ERA, I think, is still sitting in a docket somewhere for a vote.
How about, and here's what I'm saying. As much as we love to focus on Republicans for the last 40 or 60 years, what the fuck were Democrats doing too? Because
Well,
if y'all are
I
the
can actually
party,
explain that. I can actually explain that. So Reagan was so fucking popular that basically the Democrats said if you can't beat them, join them, and they basically did a hard push to the right where they on economic issues and a lot of social issues too. And so what ended up happening is you ended up that is actually where the both parties is the same mentality comes from because for literally up for like 20 fucking years up until like the second half of Obama's presidency, both parties basically fucking were the same. Yes, they had some like a sensible
yeah,
change. That
and I
now
can't,
that's not the
just let me
case
say
anymore.
this. Well, let me say this. I genuinely don't believe it. I genuinely think they are just as, not just as bad as the Republicans, but I'm saying just as bad as the, let's say, 2012 from 1980. When did
Reagan win 1980.
Reagan get elected?
80.
1980 to 2012. I still feel like Democrats are the same people from that timeline. Because look at the what's it called? Look at the management team, right, of the Democratic Party. Still Nancy Pelosi. Still being influenced by Barack Obama.
Nancy Pelosi
Still
doesn't have a
Chuck Schumer.
position anymore. I think she retired.
She just retired. She's still influencing the Speaker of the House currently because she was former Speaker of the House. Then also Chuck Schumer. What's it called? All the top brass. They don't even listen to AOC, and that bitch has been on the goddamn team for like a decade at least.
And AOC is literally the biggest earner. She makes so much fucking money for the Democratic Party. Like if she walks tomorrow,
But she
they
still can't even she can't even influence the whole Democratic Party in
right.
general.
But that's also
So
because
that's what the fuck I
and well
mean.
also you also have like right. And here's the thing: it's like we are like the it is still like. But here's the thing: the I think ostensibly, like, among the brass, like, you have like your, elitist types like Schumer and Pelosi who think like my way, like the like politics are exactly the same as they were 20 fucking years ago, and we don't have to change a
But
thing.
also, I'm sorry. I just also thought of this. Time out very quickly. Also, what was going on regarding Biden? That is some fucking old Democrat type shit where you keep it under lock and fucking key and only until a debate, which y'all didn't even want to do, but y'all set the parameters and he still failed at. And y'all were still trying to get me to say, oh yeah, he could run the country for an extra 4 years. I mean, come on. Come on. Again, not saying it's as bad as Trump and the Republicans, but come the fuck on. That's why
I think it's less of a Democrat issue and more of a generational issue. I think it's less.
That's why I say in 5 years.
I think it's not a Democratic thing. I think it's just old boomers and old Gen Xers they refuse. It's like what the fuck does Tim Dillon say about the boomers? It's like they refuse to give up anything. They refuse to give to like they not only do they pull the ladder
They're fucking
up,
dying and they keep all their fucking
they refuse to spend to like give up any power. They refuse to give up any money or wealth, and they refuse to make any changes to make people's lives better. They are literally raping this planet for their last 10 to 15 years alive on this planet, and they do not care. They do not want to increase Social Security payments. They want to run out Social Security with their generation so we don't fucking have it. They refuse to sell their fucking homes for anything less than $1 billion, and they refuse to fucking refuse to fucking retire because they hate their spouse, they hate their children, they have nothing for them at home, and the only thing that gives them any type of value in their life is being able to look up from their office and verbally berate the fucking 27-year-old something working on the shop floor. Like, that is the baby boomer generation, and that is ultimately.
But when it's our turn.
Yeah.
When it's our turn, and I don't mean you and me personally, but when the next generation.
Oh no, I've advocated for like retaliatory killing of cops like way too much to go for office.
No, literally. What's it called? But I'm saying these people who are looking right now to get into politics, to join as they watch all this bullshit with the insider trading, unlimited fucking term limits from what it seems. You don't think that the people who are looking to fill these positions are looking for those benefits end of life as well? Like, that's what I'm worried about. I don't think this is a generational thing. I think it's just what happens when you get old.
Well, the thing is that it's not so. When you have, here's the thing, you have
because I've been
you have to have something to conserve, right? Bernie Sanders like didn't become like any kind of wealthy until significantly later in life, and he only got, and most of the money he's made has been from like a book deal. Like, he's not wealthy to the same way like Nancy Pelosi is.
But he also was never a person with actual power, which sucks. I wish it was different.
But I think ostensibly what's going to end up happening is that the amount, because most of the people that will be elected to Congress are not that we will elect to Congress are not going to be people that have entrenched wealth and have, a mortgage and a 401k to protect and a stock portfolio.
No. I'm saying 30 years down the line after they get elected.
I think that the damage done by the baby boomers has like people who are almost in their 40s now still vote left of center, left wing for stuff, because most people under the age of 40 are broke, and broke people, and you don't become conservative when you don't have anything you want to conserve. You don't want to you don't care that they're building, Section 8 housing next to your apartment building because you don't own your fucking apartment. You don't care that like they're building a skate park.
You're missing part of my point.
I don't think that I get what your point is. I don't think it's going to be as big of an issue. Ostensibly, are there going to be people that do are going to like kind of like, oh, well, it's always done this way. Sure, but I think the number of them is not going to be the critical mass that currently exists, keeping that shit in place.
I hope you're right. I definitely hope you're right.
I think that there are enough people around right now that are angry, and our age and older, that are angry, that are desperate, that are broke, that are looking at all of this through a lens of like I think and I've been talking about this since 20 and I started talking about this back in 2016, and I maintain this whole time. If we can get to 2028, 2030 without the right wing overtaking the country and turning this into an authoritarian hell state, we are going to see a 20 to 30 year like stint of left of center and goodening of the country. We're going to see better wage laws. We're going to see better protections. We're going to see higher taxes on corporations and wealthy individuals. We're going to see a lot more things that will make this country better. It's just we need enough old people to die and for the conservative movement to finally lose enough momentum where they are not able to just win if Democrats don't show up in mass. And I think and I think come 2028, 2030 at the latest, if they have lost every presidential election up until that point, if they have like either lost or barely maintained gains in the House and Senate in that time, and they have lost on the local level more and more over time, which is the trend that looks like is happening. Like we'll see what happens this November. We can't trust the fucking polling anymore because it's borked. So I think it just depends where it goes from. I think that's the end of it.
I hear you. I feel. I don't know.
It's just enough. It's enough old fuckers have to die, and enough wind has to be taken out of the sails of the right wing, and we're on track for that.
Last thing, and then we gotta end it after this.
Yeah.
What's it called? What do you feel of Kamala's VP pick?
Harris's pick? I think we all knew it was gonna be a white dude.
Yeah.
But I think that he is. I think like this motherfucker might have been made in a lab. He's perfect. He is.
Yeah, because he focuses on education. Yeah, what's it called? He's been in politics for quite a few years. Overall, people really like his takes. So
Waltz is going to be very useful at combating a lot of the all socialist attacks from the right wing, and two, he's going to be very useful in getting more rural Americans on his side.
Okay. Cool.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did a thing where when he's out campaigning, says, "Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. If you can outshoot me, if I can outshoot you, you got to vote for me." Like for funsies, a little thing like when he's out and about, and people would fuck with that. Like I think that Tim Walz is and this will be the last thing I say before I hit to the end screen. I think Tim Walz is. Meta wanted Buttigieg. I thought he was going to pick Shapiro. She was going to pick Shapiro. I'm glad she didn't. And I think Pete Buttigieg as an independent political operator for another 4 years is a much better choice. I think this is good. I think he's a solid pick, and I think he rounds out like the ticket in a much better way than previous Democratic things, and it makes the J.D. Vance pick a lot funnier because what Trump should have done was pick like a Liz Cheney or like some Republican woman to be his VP to like get more broad appeal, but instead he went for the consolidation route. He picked Vance after he beat Biden in that debate, and he thought, oh, I'm going to win this shit wholesale, so I'm going to consolidate and boom up the motivation of the base by getting like this fucking little fashy fuck to be my VP. And it was a huge fucking mistake.
Yeah, this is also why Trump tried fucking suing Biden for dropping out.
And now he's writing fan fiction on Truth Social, talking about, oh, what if Biden comes out?
Biden out. I feel bad. This, that, and the other thing.
What if he comes out during the
listening
next
on
debate,
stage.
during the convention, and says, "I want another shot. I can be your president." Oh God, it's the most fucking cope-tastic thing I've ever seen. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for listening to the rundown. I appreciate you, your time, your listenership. Evan will say that again shortly but I wanted to add on. Make sure you follow Brian at no.2_Brian on Instagram, as well as no.2Brian on YouTube. We're definitely going to be trying. I definitely want to start doing the what's on my mind again with you. I swear to fucking God, we're gonna start doing that shit again. I'm gonna fucking get you. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. I will see you guys next time. And we're back to weekly again. I think we're pretty much solid at this point, right? Yeah. See y'all.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at HIMediaTV/Discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at HIMedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a blessing, and $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and have a great day.